What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today, breaking news. Breaking news, everybody. Calm down. Just calm down. Settle down, okay? Kathleen Kennedy actually did her job. Oh, no, I'm not making this up. This is not clickbait. Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm, actually did some work. I know it seems far-fetched. I understand. I'm not here to confirm the Loch Ness Monster is real, Bigfoot, Tooth Fairy, nothing like that. But this is true. Kathleen Kennedy actually did something. She actually really brave, really courageous, really proud of. There's nothing more brave and courageous than doing your job after like 10 or 11 months of being in hiding, especially when you're getting paid millions of dollars. So. Yes, so Kathleen Kennedy finally made a public statement about something to do with the company that she runs. That is that she confirmed that the Boba Fett movie is 100% dead and that they are focusing 100% into The Mandalorian. As far as that news goes, I never cared about the Boba Fett movie. I think Boba Fett's an overrated character. I don't like Boba Fett, so I never had any desire to see a Boba Fett movie. In terms of The Mandalorian, as much as I'm down on Disney Star Wars, I can't lie and say I'm not somewhat excited for The Mandalorian because of Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni directing the first episode, George being on set. I like the image we saw. I'm kind of excited for that. But here's my question. If Kathleen Kennedy's into answering questions all of a sudden, let's ask some questions, Kathleen. So whoever this person was that got the confirmation, what are you doing? Like, could you not get some more answers? Could you not say, yo, Kathleen, since you're working today, it doesn't happen very often, so can we ask you a few questions? Maybe tell us what's going on with Rian Johnson's trilogy. What's going on with that? As a matter of fact, how do you feel about Rian Johnson? Moving forward, are you still as excited as you were, seeing as you handed him a trilogy before The Last Jedi came out? And speaking of The Last Jedi, what are your feelings on the fact that the greatest character in the history of movies pretty much got neutered in that movie? How do you feel about that? Are you good with that? Do you feel that was good for the brand that you are in charge of? Just curious, Kathleen. I mean, look, it's just you're answering questions, so we just want to take advantage because it may be another 10 months before you actually answer something. You know what I mean? And by the way, how'd you feel about that Solo box office, failing miserably? How did you feel about that? What were your thoughts on that? Do you take the blame for that? Considering you're the leader of Lucasfilm, do you take the blame for that? Just curious, Kathleen. Is there any plans moving forward to do anything else with Solo? And by the way, how did you feel about Chuck Wendig getting fired? And why did Marvel have to fire him? Aren't you the leader of Star Wars? And this guy is out there putting a bad image out there with his really kind of unhinged tweets. How do you feel about that, Kathleen? And while we're on the subject of Twitter, how do you feel about Rian Johnson and how he calls all the fans man babies? And how do you feel about Freddie Prinze Jr. saying it's a bunch of overweight white men? And how do you feel that you have writers for StarWars.com that are constantly attacking the fans? How do you feel that you had websites featured on StarWars.com that were calling for a boycott of Star Wars comics? Just a few questions I got, Kathleen. Just a couple of, basic questions. It's not like there's any problems at Lucasfilm or anything. It's not like we're having issues. Not at all, Kathleen. So just a few things we wanted to kind of get some clarification on. So if you don't mind, you can just start from the top. I can give you a reminder if you need, because it may seem like a lot, and it may seem like you're doing a terrible job as a president, but it's just a few questions. Routine questions. Rian Johnson's trilogy. Is it still happening? Do you have any updates? Rian Johnson, the guy that directed The Last Jedi, that kind of divided the fan base, kind of neutered Luke Skywalker. How do you feel about Luke Skywalker being neutered? How do you feel about the Solo boycott? And how do you feel that the whole entire box office kind of failed for Solo? How do you feel about that? How do you feel that you have people like Chuck Wendig and that you didn't fire him, but if Marvel did, because Marvel clearly saw that he was a problem? And not only just Chuck Wendig, but the fact that why didn't you fire him? And number two, why do you continue to let all of your employees get away with the same type of behavior on social media? Just a couple of things. So, just take your time and, let me know when you can get back to me on that. But of course, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen because she's not going to answer the hard questions. Because even though she likes to present herself as a leader, she is not a leader. And if you remember, Bob Iger actually took the blame for what's going on with Star Wars because she's not a leader. So Bob Iger did it. But when Bob Iger did it, Bob Iger pointed out that J.J. Abrams was working on Star Wars Episode 9 and the Benioff and Weiss have their, trilogy of movies or series of movies. And he didn't mention Rian Johnson. Wonder why? So that's my question. Why can't we get a little more details? And why is the president of a major studio with the number one IP in movies, why can't this person answer questions? Why can't this person that used to want to stand in front of the cameras all day long and show her Star Wars shirt and talk about Forces Female at her little Nike dig? And yeah, I know it was a little Nike little shindig that they were at. Whoop-de-doo. It does not matter where she was at. Having the Forces Female, I'm just saying, so does that mean that we can wear the Forces Male shirts around if we work for Lucasfilm? Or maybe we can just write, Trump is the Force. Maybe we can do that. Because it wouldn't be a Star Wars function, right? So maybe if we're going to a Trump rally and I work for Lucasfilm, I can write Trump is the Force, right? Or the Force is Trump, Because it won't be a problem, right? Because it wasn't a problem with her because you said it was at a Nike function, right? So it'd be okay if a Lucasfilm, maybe a prominent person at Lucasfilm, maybe Pablo Hidalgo, maybe Pablo can go to a Trump rally and wear a shirt that says, the Force is Trump. It won't be a problem, right? Because it's not like he's doing it at a Star Wars function, because it was okay for her to do that at a Nike function, right? All you shill boys out there, why don't you answer that question for me real quick? But anyway, we're going to get back to Kathleen Kennedy, the person that works one time every 10 months. Pretty good deal. But again, a lot of bravery, very courageous. Very inspirational on her part. This is what we need to be teaching our young women around the world, that if you can get a powerful position, you need to lean on your gender and not work, except for that one day a year. I'm really proud of you, Kathleen. I'm really proud of you. But we will not hear anything probably. She's not going to answer any hard questions because that's not what she does. She is a front runner. So when things are good, she likes to be out in front of the cameras. She likes to take all the credit. And as soon as it gets a little rough, she goes into hiding because she's a front runner. That's exactly what she is. A pathetic excuse for a leader. You guys have a good day, and we will talk to you later.